Stand by.
Stand by.
Quiet on the set.
Quiet on the set.
Hey! Shut the fuck up.
Whoa, ukulele.
1, 2, 3, 4, Rock-a-Doodle, what a day. Sun is shining brightly. Rock-a-Doodle, what a day. Down here on the farm, Rock-a-Doodle, stay away. You big old little rain cloud, up right now with his voice of mine. Sun to shine, 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 sun to shine. My daddy taught me how to sing, and that's why this voice means everything. Sun to shine, you better shine. Well, sun to shine, you better shine. And a man will be able to fuck you.
Episode 1. Life is just like tying your shoes.
Golden Boar here, and welcome to our first official episode.
Fuck yeah, brother. Today we're going to be reviewing the 1991 classic live-action animated turd, Rock-a-Doodle.
A movie about Glenn Campbell as a cock.
Rock-a-Doodle was made by Sullivan Bluth Studios. If the name Bluth doesn't sound familiar, well, you can go fuck yourself.
Don Bluth was a former Disney animator who said, fuck this shit, I'm gonna go do my own thing. Gave us such classics as All Dogs Go to Heaven and Fiddler on the Roof Part 2. Excuse me, An American Tail. Somewhere out there.
Rock-a-Doodle is a tale about Chanticleer, voiced by legendary country musician Glenn Campbell, Mr. Rhinestone Cowboy himself. Chanticleer is an Elvis-type crooning rooster who lives on a farm, and they say his crow can raise the sun. Or so we presumed.
Opposed to all this sunshine is the pompous dickhead Grand Duke of Owls, voiced by the captain himself, Christopher Plummer. Fucking owls.
Fuck owls.
Seriously.
What is, the Grand Duke set up a fight to distract Chanticleer from crowing. But the silly thing is, the sun comes up anyways without him crowing at all. So that gives enough evidence to his shitty-ass farm friends to kick his cock-ass out. Chanticleer dips out in shame. And then a storm comes in.
Meanwhile, cut to live action, and here we meet Edmund, a little boy being read a bedtime story by his mother about these exact same fucking little animals. That's right, it's all in this little boy's book, except the storm is hitting real life too. His dad suddenly bursts in talking about how fucked up shit is outside. Edmund wants to help, but his mom and dad say, nah, you're too fucking small, stay inside the room.
It's pretty much just saying you're going to be in the fucking way, so fuck off.
Well, what if they just want to make sure you're safe?
I mean, fuck that.
After his mom and dad leaves, a tree bursts through his room in the shape of an owl's claw. The Duke enters, monologues, uses his vaguely identified powers to turn Edmund into a fucking cat.
Yeah, so I guess we're supposed to assume that when the branch came in, it knocked Edmund's dumbass out. And so now he's stuck in the fantasy world where these characters from his storybook that he was just reading came from.
So then fucking Edmund finds a goddamn flashlight, flashes it at the Duke, he runs off like a bitch. Then the rest of the cast enters.
One of the main characters and also the narrator, Patu, the hound dog, is voiced by famous voice actor Phil Harris. He did the voice of Baloo in Jungle Book and also the voice of Little John in Robin Hood. Sadly, this was his last film.
And just like how Full House is actually a show about fried chicken, seriously, fucking watch that shit, see how often they eat goddamn fried chicken. There's an entire subplot about how Patu can't tie his fucking shoes. What this has to do with anything, who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
But it is a thread that ties the whole film together. Waka
Waka
waka.
waka. We're soon introduced to secondary characters, Snipes, a magpie, and Peepers, a mouse. They're pretty much useless. They're just there for comedic fodder.
They basically just recap the story to Edmund about how Chanticleer left and how they now have to go to a fucking animated animal Hollywood to get him back. And now the adventure begins! On the way, they are met with opposition by the Grand Duke's nephew, Hunch, a small, wiry owl who likes to use a Swiss Army knife as his weapon of choice. Being the bumbling idiot that he is, he sends the group through what he thinks is an adequate pipe that's going to lead them to their demise.
And what the stupid little shit doesn't know, and is soon corrected by his Uncle Dookie, that he sends him down an aqueduct pipe, not an adequate pipe. So that shit sends him right to the city. So Uncle Dookie's a little pissed off.
Why the fuck would he think a goddamn adequate pipe would send him to their fucking death? Who the fuck knows?
Who the fuck knows?
Upon arrival into the city, the gang discovers that Chanticleer is now known as the King, and is the biggest rock star in all the animated animal Hollywood world, sort of like Elvis Presley in his prime. They try to meet the King, but are stopped by his manager Pinky, who's inspired by real-life Elvis manager Colonel Tom Parker.
Well, Pinky works for the Duke, so Pinky introduces the King to Goldie, who's a super hot, super sexy chicken. I mean,
Stone cold chicken.
breasts and thighs for days. Well, what happens is Goldie actually ends up falling in love with Chanticleer, and so now she tries to help him join back with his friends.
And hijinks ensue. People fall in love. Some characters die or don't die, almost die. He crows, saves the farm. Patu learns how to tie his fucking shoes. Yada, yada, yada. The end.
And now that we bored the fuck out of you with all that fucking shit, now let's get to our fucking opinions about this fucking film.
Because that's what you're here for, right? The opinions of two fat assholes who wear shorts and fucking hats. Well, now that we watched it,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Actually, I think Rock-a-Doodle is a pretty good, solid kids film. I mean, if it's for kids, it's exactly meant for children. It's got a straight storyline. One thing happens to the next, right after one after another, and it doesn't really feel boring ever in any kind of parts.
I'd agree with that. It's a pretty fast-paced film. There's not a lot of bullshit. But there are a couple of scenes.
Oh, yeah. There's things that don't make sense
like
at all.
The kid character literally goes into shock. Like a shock scene where it gets, it gets hit and then it...
No. Peepers was on the chain.
Peepers crashed. Yeah, that's right.
And then he thinks that she dies in the RV, and he fucking totally blacks out and goes into this crazy...
It's like such
world.
a traumatic fucking moment.
Yeah.
And it just fucks with his head.
Yeah, and then that same thing happens to Chanticleer at the end in the battle scene where he's fighting with Count Dookie, and he fucking he loses his shit.
No,
like something happens to him, he loses his shit.
Fucking, this was a movie we had when we were kids.
Yeah.
We watched it pretty often. It was right in their rotation with any other Disney movies or,
Yeah.
what's that dinosaur one?
Land
Before Time. And stuff
Land
like
Before
that.
Time, We're Back. All sorts of. We watched a lot of Blue films. A lot when we were kids. We probably watched Blue films just as much as we watched Disney films.
I don't even know. Does he make movies anymore?
Last that I remember was Titan AE. I don't know. We have to
Titan AE.
look up what if he's done anything else after that.
I can't remember.
But I can't think of
But
anything either.
this was one we watched a lot. I would say it's kind of obscure. I don't think it's super obscure. It's kind of. I don't think it's one of the more well known animated movies.
Mm-hmm.
There are some more trivia about the movie. I guess it was based around Chanticleer as a character from one of Chaucer's tales, Canterbury Tales.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Which is. I had no idea. I had no fucking idea that was going to be part of this.
Some deep shit for a kids movie.
I guess Disney Company fought for the rights to get it or something, and they fought against each other. But he ended up not getting the full rights, and he also worked off of somebody's book that was a version of one of the tales from Chaucer. And this is what happened. This is what came out.
Somehow some Elvis Presley shit came out from this.
Yeah.
Did they ever say like why Elvis Presley? Like why that?
I'm not sure why the whole Elvis thing. I mean, a rooster crooning, singing.
And Elvis was pretty popular still back then.
Yeah, it worked along with it.
Yeah.
The animation's great. Animation's really good.
There are parts in the animation that are odd. Like there's a lot of change in size.
There's a lot of change in size.
There's one moment they're inside the helicopter and it's a freaking gigantic room with a golf course in it.
Yeah, Pinky, the manager, has all these crazy
and then
vehicles.
you see it on the outside and it's not really that big. So it's like, what is this, like a Harry Potter magical world shit, And then there's a part where Goldie is fighting with Edmund on her what was that? Her makeup stand.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now she's the same size as Edmund.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell happened there? How did she become like the same size?
Overall, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird movie.
Yeah.
What was our mom gave the best possible review for the movie, I think, and it was something in the lines of, there's a fucking chicken that's like Elvis, and then there's another chicken that's way hotter than she should ever be, and then they're over there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Just the Rock-a-Doodle, that's what it kind of is.
Pretty much.
A straightforward, good, fun kids movie. I recommend it for kids to watch.
Definitely.
Because there are scary parts, but there are a lot of parts that are fun.
Fucking owls.
Yeah.
Fucking owls.
The owls aren't scary. He's a big pussy. Okay.
So, I guess that's about it.
Yeah.
Maybe someday we'll elaborate a little bit more, but that's pretty much Rock-a-Doodle in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So, with that being said,
Fuck you, Jane.